Have you ever wondered what lies beneath its soil? Today, we're taking you on a thrilling journey to the heart of one of the world's greatest mysteries. In our final excavation, we've made an insane discovery that could rewrite history. What could it be, and how does it change everything we thought we knew about Oak Island? Buckle up and let's unearth this together in Insane Discovery at Oak Island during final excavation. On the hit show, The Curse of Oak Island, which airs on the History Channel, brothers Marty and Rick Lagina, together with their crew of treasure hunters, have been searching for buried wealth on an island off the coast of Nova Scotia for almost 8 years. The Lagina brothers have spent the entirety of their 9 seasons on the show engaged in a never-ending hunt for a lost treasure that was possibly buried on the island by Spanish pirates, the British military, or even the Knights Templar. But what precisely are these fascinating discoveries, and what kind of previously unknown historical details might they expose? As we unearth every piece of treasure that has ever been discovered on The Curse of Oak Island, perhaps the answer lies inside ourselves. Maravedi copper coin. In the episode, The Find, which served as the Season 1 finale of The Curse of Oak Island, metal detecting expert Steve Zazalik was digging through a swamp when he came upon a coin that had the number 8 etched on it. It was later determined to be a copper coin worth 8 maravedis that belonged to Spain and most likely dated to the 17th century. After being cleaned and studied in the premiere episode of Season 2, titled Once In, Forever In, it was discovered that the year 1652 was engraved on the reverse of the coin. An additional examination of the coin demonstrated that it had, in reality, been missing in the marsh for hundreds of years, and that it was not something that had been planted relatively recently. All of the evidence pointed to this being a genuine historical find, the first of several that will be made throughout the course of the episode. Is it possible that this plain copper coin conceals evidence of buried pirate treasure? The Lagina brothers gave off the distinct impression that they were heading in the correct direction in their search for the fabled lost wealth of Oak Island. A military button from the 17th century, and a coin. While metal detecting in the second episode of the second season of The Curse of Oak Island, titled Return to the Money Pit, treasure hunter Gary Drayton found not one but 2 unique treasures. His first find was made in the general vicinity of Oak Island's shoreline. A button from a military officer's uniform from the 17th century was discovered by Drayton and his crew. However, it is not known which military it may have belonged to. On the other hand, there might be evidence that this military was the one responsible for burying some of the secrets surrounding the island. The second discovery made that day was made by Drayton and his team in a forest setting that was not too far away. They discovered a little coin buried in the dirt, which they believed to be another maravedi from the 17th century, just like the one that was discovered in the conclusion of the previous season. On the other hand, the size of this coin seemed to be much less than that of the others, probably 2 maravedis rather than 8. These extraordinary discoveries, despite their modest size, have the potential to lead to a far larger treasure that is concealed someplace on Oak Island. 2 Britannia coins from the 17th century. While treasure hunting along the shoreline of Oak Island with his metal detector in the 3rd episode of the 2nd season of The Curse of Oak Island, titled The 8-Pointed Star, treasure hunter Gary Drayton discovered another double discovery. This time, Drayton and his crew, working with the leader of the Oak Island team, Rick Lagina, discovered 2 King Charles II Britannia coins from the 17th century hidden beneath the rocks and pyrite that were strewn across the shore. The year 1771 was plainly printed on the surface of one of the pieces that were discovered, lending credence to the theory that the currency dates back several centuries. Where did these set of coins from the 17th century come from? Could those who were in a hurry and looking for buried wealth have accidentally dropped them? Or, and here is where the hope comes in, could they have been deposited there by a wealthy gang that was out on Oak Island trying to hide their own treasure? Without a doubt, the Oak Island crew would be required to do additional research. The coin of the Knights Templar. In the 5th episode of the 2nd season of The Curse of Oak Island, titled The 90-Foot Stone, the examination of the little coin that Gary Drayton and his crew had unearthed 3 episodes earlier in Return to the Money Pit was shown. It turned out not to be a coin from the Maravedi at all, but rather something significantly more interesting. Treasure hunter and experienced diver Tony Sampson examined the coin after it had been cleaned and noticed what looked to be a cross design on one of its sides. This unusual cross might be the emblem of the Knights Templar, who, in the 13th century, were responsible for the establishment of one of the earliest worldwide financial institutions. Is it possible that this was a coin that the Knights Templar used for financial transactions? What at first appeared to be the discovery of a little Spanish mod of AD coin could instead be a significant lead towards a massive Knights Templar riches buried someplace on Oak Island. This notion was prompted by the fact that the coin was discovered on Oak Island. A coin with a ring made of copper. In the 6th episode of the 4th season of The Curse of Oak Island, titled Circles in Wood, Gary Drayton, associate producers Jack Begley and Alex Lagina, and other treasure hunters undertake some metal detecting on property that was originally owned by former slave-turned-cabbage farmer Samuel Ball. Following the discovery of a length of chain buried in the ground by Drayton and Company at the beginning of their search, they broadened their search and eventually came upon a small copper and bronze ring. They were positive that they were moving in the right direction, so they kept their efforts going and eventually found a coin that had the potential to be several hundred years old. It was stated that Samuel Ball was one of the wealthiest citizens of Oak Island because he owned 36 acres of land there. Did the cultivation of cabbages contribute to the acquisition of his wealth? Or had Ball stumbled across a hidden treasure? It's possible that these discoveries are merely a fragment of the treasure that was discovered on Oak Island. Coins from the 18th century and a name tag. Gary Drayton, a metal detecting expert, and Charles Barkhouse, an Oak Island historian, continue to rummage around on Samuel Ball's property in the 8th episode of Season 4 titled The Mystery of Samuel Ball, and uncover a variety of fascinating artifacts as they do so. In the beginning, Drayton and Barkhouse come across a dandy button, which was commonly used on garments throughout the 1700s. They locate many coins from the 1700s minted in the name of King George II almost immediately, along with a lead ingot that was used for manufacturing musket balls. Drayton comes up with the idea that all of these items may be the remains of a military encampment after discovering what appears to be a metal tag from the bottom of a handgun with a name inscribed on it, which some online scholars believe may have been Samuel Ball's own. These campers from the 18th century were either on the lookout for buried treasure or they were leaving behind treasure of their own. The only thing that can be said with absolute certainty about Oak Island during the 1700s is that there was a great deal of activity taking place there. So these are some discoveries at Oak Island that we have told you with the help of The Curse of Oak Island. Wow, what a ride! As we are at the end of this insane discovery at Oak Island, the mystery continues to thicken. So what do you think this revelation means for the enigma of Oak Island? Can it rewrite the pages of history we thought we knew? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop your theories in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this journey and subscribe for more thrilling explorations. Because remember, every ending is just a new beginning in the thrilling saga of Oak Island.